Today we take a question from Business Insider, who sent me this question recently to form the basis of an article they were writing around what is the number one question I always ask every person in an interview.
28 and I'm trying to shape history, pulling from the sky for some strength to take with me, line up the stars, fly away quickly and push the world forward like a tidal wave hit me. I ride the wave swiftly, I fear no man, check my titles mate quickly, came from the sky with the light of day in me and grew my own.
Today we take a question from businessinsider.com.au. Recently asked me a question, I responded, they published it on their website, and the question was, Rosie.
What's the one interview question you ask every single candidate?
It's the one interview question I ask every single candidate. I'm going to give you guys a different answer to the one I gave Business Insider, because the one I gave Business Insider you can go and read. I think the number one thing people get wrong with recruitment, particularly in early stage businesses, but across any stage of business, is that an interview process speaks and examines the resume rather than the human being. So every single person we have here at the Entourage, we've got about 80 full-timers here at our Entrepreneur Development Centre now. Last year we were named the fourth best place to work in Australia by BRW magazine. So we do culture well. And the one thing that I look for, the one thing that we look for now, because we sort of bottled the methodology right throughout the entire organisation, is the essence of the human being that is sitting in front of us. So I'm exploring everything from soul to heart to head to hand. Soul, what is their intention? Do they have a need for growth and evolution? Heart, who are they? How sort of kind are they? How generous are they? What's the depth of character and depth of strength in terms of them as a human being? Head, are they sharp? Is their thinking aligned to ours, and is their thinking aligned and built for the role that they are stepping into? And then hand is work ethic. Do they have the ability to sustain a high output over, a long period of time? Therefore, the number one question I ask everybody is, what is the hardest period of your life that you have ever been through? How did you respond to it, and who did you become as a result? What I'm searching for here is adversity. In my view, adversity builds character, and it's through the most trialing and challenging times that the greatest opportunity for wisdom rests, should we pause, ask ourselves the right question, and coach ourselves effectively, or get counsel from other coaches and guides and mentors through that period for our own personal, professional, and perhaps even spiritual growth, right? Being engaged in an early stage or a high growth business is incredibly difficult as an employee, right? It's incredibly difficult because it's fast paced, it's high demand, there's a lot of change, almost to the point of chaos at times. And so somebody needs to be able to demonstrate that they have been through tough times, they know how to manage themselves and lead themselves, coach themselves through those tough times, and they need to demonstrate that they're able to adopt a higher purpose and a higher meaning to those challenging times, or else they simply won't have the strength of character or the perspective to survive and thrive in an environment as challenging as this. So the number one question I always ask, and it's not the first question I ask, but it's one of the most important questions I ask: what is the hardest period of your life been, and how did you navigate through it? I also want to know, I ask so many questions about the person as opposed to their professional background or their competencies. We do that too. However, I'm really interested in the character and the spirit of the human being. The other questions I ask are, what are your personal development practices? What are your spiritual development practices? Because we want people in here that are committed to growth, understand they're on a journey of spiritual evolution, and therefore can help our members and our students go on a journey of personal and spiritual evolution. That's who we are. That's in our DNA. So if we don't all adopt spiritual and personal and professional and business and commercial growth practices, then how can we expect ourselves to be able to effectively enable and facilitate other people to do it, right? The best question, the second part of that question was, what is the best question I've ever been asked in an interview? At the end, where you give the applicant an opportunity to ask you a question, to explore anything they want to explore. This is a really good question because I have had some really good questions I can't remember. I had one last week that I can't specifically remember what it was exactly. The best questions I get are around the dynamics of our organization. Often the mechanical side of things, operations and projects and even strategy to a degree, is a question that somebody can have with probably anybody in my team. However, the best questions to ask me or your employer, the founder, person leading your organization, if you're going for a job at a particular company, is anything around the vision, anything around the mission, anything around the values, anything around the DNA or the dynamics of how the organization works from a dynamic perspective, why the organization was started, what's most important to the heartbeat of the organization. In fact, I think that was it. Best question I ever got was, what's most important to the heart of the entourage? And like for me, I'm just like, that is just the best question. So ask the person employing you, not logistical questions, how many hours where are the systems or what accounting, so like fuck all of that. Ask them questions about the heart and the soul of the organization. It will show that your thinking is evolved to quite a high level. Let me ask you guys in the comments below, what is the number one question you ask to applicants when they are coming through an interview process with you and your business? In the comments below, what is the number one question you ask and why? I'll be there. Let's have that discussion.
So what that